All right, let's jump right back in and do the other half of this page. This is a split page where the two main protagonists are going off in different directions. I had a full video for this particular part of the page, and then the video system crashed, so I can't even guarantee that you'll get to see what this one's going to look like. I'm on the right layer with the right brush. Hi everyone, it's me, Empyrean Vole, Peter, bringing you another video. Been thinking about this one for a while. I've discovered banjo Twitter, not banjo Twitter, banjo YouTube, banjo oriented YouTube, and there's 2 or 3. Whoops, I wonder if I can do it with more light. Yeah. There's 2 or 3 incredible channels. There's a lot of people playing banjo on YouTube. One dude, I think his name is Aaron Rodgers. Let me see if I can look him up. Aaron. Monkey Shines. Banjo. So this dude, what was his name? No, it's Aaron Williams. Is it Aaron Williams? Oh, wait, what is this dude's name? Aaron Stevens. Aaron Stevens is incredible. And his thing, first of all, great banjo player. But his thing is to do what I think were called, I don't even know if this is real, but it was like called monkey shines, which is a basically it's like how like the guy from Night Ranger would like spin his guitar around his back, like he would just take it and like toss his guitar over one shoulder and the strap would like spin it around. It was like a really cool like metal move in the 80s. But apparently, turn of the century, there was a guy doing this with banjo. And I get the feeling this is somehow, it's either called Monkey Shines or it's just, this is the time, I don't know what it is. But first of all, very fun music. I enjoy I'm enjoying the banjo music. But all the tricks that he's doing, and some of them are really funny. I also like Clifton Hicks. Quite a fan of his. I'm looking him up. I want to say it's Clifton Hicks, yeah. And he's also doing like, you know, he's building banjos, like the gourd banjos, which you build out of a gourd. I guess now is the season. Seeing as how we are in the Halloween season. I'm enjoying the Western theme for this comic. Westerns are perfect for comics. You think about it, it's a lawless sort of setting where the protagonists basically become the authorities. And There's money, fame, riches. Anything is possible. You could add fantasy, you could add science fiction if you wanted to. You could add any element you wanted to it. High technology. You got the steampunked out technology of that Wild West show, if you remember that show. There was a very poor Will Smith version of it that went out, but very cool. Jonah Hex. Jonah Hex was not original. It was completely like there was no magic or mythology in Jonah Hex at all. I've got some of the original ones, but I always assumed, oh, its name is Jonah Hex. There must be some kind of dark magic at play here. That's not what happens in that comic at all in the original run. Then later on, like certainly there was, and they even did like a post-apocalyptic Mad Max kind of version of it for a while. I remember having some of those. Alright, let's do this cowboy. This is Gallows. I remember being in like high school and junior high and reading all the Louis L'Amour books, which are westerns. And Louis L'Amour also did, I wouldn't say they were fantasy, but he did some like medieval themed stories. I had at least one of them that was definitely like set in like a European feudal setting. I can't remember. There might have been fantasy. It seems like there was not. Or if there was, it would have been really low magic. I can't remember it all, actually. I certainly like the swords and sorcery. Sorcery. It's the day after Halloween, which also means the day after Inktober. I was a finisher. I completed Inktober successfully. It's my final. What was my final day? I think the prompt was farm. So I did a cicada. And this is using a kind of scribbly kind of line that I learned from Alphonse Dunn. Yesterday's day was gear, so I did this sort of interconnected kind of automatic Ouija board. That was uh-oh, I think. And anyway, I quite enjoy the Inktober. Good times. Alright, no matter what happens on these shoulders, I know that I'm going to get it buried by the ropes that are going to have to be there. This is just page 7. You know, crawl, walk, run. This is not very far along. I've got nothing to say. I'm tired about it. Now let's see what he looks like. I pulled a layer off. All right. All right. I've got these real sharp, defined shadows. I may be doing something with them. On this panel, about, maybe I end up placing the whole figure in shadow. All right, here's this gun belt. We know they're low on ammo. That's part of one of the story points. And I've got Gallus. He's supposed to be kind of hiding behind here. I don't know if I've got his posture right. Let's zoom in a bit. I don't know if I like that nose. Alright. Side view of a cowboy hat. Never easy. I was teaching one of my classes today. Alright. Let's see how close or how far off we are. I think we're close. Usually if it looks a little crude right up, it's a line weight or a shading problem. For me anyways. I used to really struggle with faces. You know? You can work for years and still not get the face exactly right on a character if you don't know what you're doing. You might think you know what you're doing. Oh, it's got 2 eyes, 2 noses. I followed the Loomis head formula. I put this line here and everything. There's much more to it. It's tough, in my opinion. Okay, the question is, is this working? I hate these little curly cues that kind of end up in there. Alright. There we go. There's two things that are at play here. They've dropped off the smoke grenade. Rabbit Fighter is trying to draw their attention, and then we're going to show them running past. Well, I want to show some of the smoke too, so I want to somehow figure all that stuff out as well. Maybe I won't have them go as close. No, it's got to be close. It'll be more dramatic. Okay. Am I creating the depth? I like to think I'm creating the depth. Okay. Alright, let's add the background. In this case, our foreground is kind of here. We have Gallows kind of sitting in the midground. Alright, that's a gamma zombie. I might have to switch to a different layer so he doesn't conflict with the plant and I can erase as needed. Alright, let's try it. I just started Tezuka's Life of the Buddha. I wasn't interested in it because, you know, you see it basically a Japanese manga artist doing a comic about the Buddha, and you think, okay, this is some kind of esoteric, you know, actual, almost, possibly even like a religious pamphlet here. You know, it's not part of my world. I shouldn't bother with it. That was not the case with Tezuka. So Tezuka was actually not a Buddhist, and his approach to it was more in the historical and storytelling realm. And I got to tell you, this book is actually really cool because, like, it starts out, it kind of explains expositionally about the Brahmins and the different castes, and then it gets into the story of this Brahmin who goes looking for a prophesied individual who turns out to be a pariah, like an actual, like one of the outcasts. And the pariah child has the ability to possess animals. He possesses a tiger at one point. And then the a kid gets some goods stolen and they want to sell his mother into slavery, and the pariah child kind of intervenes and comes up with this plan to get revenge. It's a really good story. Like, it's like, you know, it wasn't what I thought it would be at all. So I highly recommend it. Tezuka is really the OG, besides Kirby and Ditko, and for me, in a lesser mode, Herb Trimpe and Don Perlin, those guys that I like from my era. I gotta hand it to Tezuka. Definitely check it out. I'm wondering if I should do like toss another layer on there and just see what it looks like with the dark shadows over here, you know, and like maybe we end up doing a cast shadow like that somewhere. You know, maybe we don't. What went?
I think I kicked a trap.
Oh, okay. Alright. Let me do the leader, and then I'll go check, and that'll be the end of this video. Yes, I know it's only 22 minutes. I'll actually continue drawing, I just don't know. Yesterday I recorded a whole video, and I was kind of in the editing mode where I was putting a title on it, and that's when it failed. Alright, do I have a reference? Always a problem of whether or not I have a reference. I have a reference. My reference is another one of those dudes. Okay, they have a sort of sleeveless kind of top kind of thing. My line weight is through the roof. And then arm weights. Or arm bands, something. And then the sort of armored skirt. I got Shell Presto messaging me. Next weekend we're going to be at a convention. Her husband and her child are going to share a booth with me. Rather, I'm sharing a booth with them. Thanks so much to them for that opportunity. I truly appreciate it. Alright, let's get this arm out of the way. Alright, let's fix all my terrible line weights. This is a terrible line weight right here. Let's make that a lot thinner. really any action to it. Oh, he's got forearm guards of some kind. Or gloves. Does he wear gloves? No, he doesn't wear gloves, but he does wear... He wears forearm guards. There's actually going to be more than one of these guys, too. That's an important plot point. And they may not be aware of both of the guys as they start out. This is his radioactive holy symbol. All right. Blessed are the children of the gamma atom, of the radioactive isotope. Let's do some like dark lines around the eyes to give it more zombified. Well, speaking of which, there should be blood on the... I think if we have just a hint of a thumb, it'll look more menacing. And then the straight hatching, it makes things sink into the background. I learned that from Peter Hahn. As long as you don't have anything else that's taken up space. Alright. Alright. We're going to do more. I've got more in the background. We're going to push the background as far back as we can. Add more zombies. We're going to add kind of evidence of the smoke grenade. Maybe we'll have some of the guys will be like almost like silhouetted in the smoke, right? Actually, that might be really cool to do it like that. And just nah. So that they know to follow Rabbit Fighter. Alright, we are at a good solid 29 minutes. Let's call it half an hour. Like, follow, subscribe, and check out some of the excellent banjo content on YouTube. You will not regret your exploration. I certainly haven't. Chris Ware and Robert Crumb play banjo, among other things. I think I do have to do some kind of shadow or shading here. Alright, like, follow, subscribe, and I will see you later.